Hey guys, welcome back to Hardcastle Homestead. It is October 6th and it's going to be 84 degrees as our high today, which is very high normally for what we're used to in October. We had a 90-degree day the other day and that was intense. The garden is slowly coming to an end. As you can see, I have pulled a lot of plants out. Still have some going strong though with the floret dahlias. The rosemary's looking amazing. I mean, the zinnias are taller than I am, and for reference, I'm 5'2". We've got drying beans going. We've got pepper plants still going. We've got a few more Roma and carbon tomatoes still growing. The poblanos are starting to peter out. The jalapenos are still doing great. Honestly though, it has been such a whirlwind, and oh my goodness, where did the whole summer go? I feel like I let you guys down a little bit because I wasn't even here. When it comes to like being present in my garden, I feel like I let my garden down a lot too from just the overwhelm of life. And we're not stopping, we're not quitting, we're gonna keep going. And today I'm gonna bring you guys along with me as I plant out my 3 varieties of garlic I wanna try this year. We've got Ukraine red, another type of hardy red, and a Spanish red. And as you can see, there's a theme going there. But yeah, I just wanna take you guys along with me. I am cutting back how much garlic I grow this year. Mostly because we're not getting through it. So if we are growing more than what we can eat, we need to cut back and we need to be more mindful of our production. So some of the things we didn't eat enough of this year: onions. We bought a lot of potatoes at the store because I didn't plant any potatoes this year. And what else? 2 or 3 of our beds got completely overrun by weeds, so I've gone through and pulled those. We really hit the perfect sweet spot on our herbs this year, on just giving the bees, the flies, all of the things that pollinate some really good resource in the garden. Tomatoes got away from me. We had one indeterminate actually over there on the trellis that grew about a foot taller than where those leaves were, so about 9-10 feet tall on my tomatoes. And so the soil quality is looking great. Now it's time this winter, now that the garden is getting closer to be putting most of it to bed, we're going to work on getting our drip irrigation installed, because next year is going to be just as crazy as this year. We are looking at ways to combat real life world where you have a job and you also want to be out in the garden and you want to be more self-sufficient. So we're going to be doing a lot of troubleshooting here on the property. But as a whole, today's main focus, one task at a time, investing 20 minutes max. And you guys will see the sped up version of it, but we will be doing the garlic in our small square bed, testing out the space with square foot planting. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're also with my role at work. It's going great. Thanks to my role at work, they have given me an opportunity to work with one of the school extension programs to be able to get certified as a master gardener, which will be so much fun. And I've been learning so much, honestly, about soil health. If it's something that you can spend finances on, I think it was only $200 for a whole semester's course on all things gardening, landscaping, soil health, and science. And just in the soil aspect, which is where I've been lacking, so much education through that program. So without further ado, going into the nutrition now with the garlic, which I've already got a little container ready. But what we will be doing is using rock sulfate. So with rock sulfate, this is mainly focusing on phosphate and calcium for the soil, which is a major benefit in growing your garlic. And I like to pre-daub all my holes, which you'll see, but kind of going over it before we start. And then sprinkle this throughout the soil. And then on top of sprinkling that, once I get the garlic in, we throw worm castings in it as well, which has more of the balance of mainly water soluble nitrogen. It's very important to look at the different wording with that. But yeah, also my friend, my beautiful friend, her grandmother on her farm had these gorgeous irises, and they gave me some rhizomes. So I'm excited to add some more irises to the garden. But yeah, let's get started on some garlic, guys. Alright, so kind of taking a break here. I want to explain kind of what's going on in the video. So as you can see, I was sprinkling the rock sulfate on it. And I first dib the holes and then do the rock sulfate so it gets down in the hole, as well as it will slowly release on top of the soil as well. But just kind of keep you guys with what's going on. Let's see, you're in the wheelbarrow right now. So I'm breaking it, and you don't want to remove all the paper. This is the part where it's almost like craft, a skill set. But on the hard neck, it's a little bit easier. You just kind of loosen it as you go, getting that paper off, but not taking it fully off the bulb, okay? You take it fully off the bulb, it's gonna rot in the ground. That sky's so pretty and blue. So I literally just get one out, pull out the hard neck, and then you want to break it where it still has a skin on it. This area down here, it's flatter. It's where the roots come off of the main bulb. That's the part that goes down. Here's the tip part that should be facing up in the soil. And eventually it sprouts, the green sprouts from here. On top of that note, I mean, look how massive this guy is. This is one. I believe this is the Ukraine red. But like easily $50 size, all of them. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. And so each one of these will be giving me a head of garlic, which is awesome. And then, just to keep you guys with me, what I'm basically doing then is here's the dibber. It goes down in the soil. Get a nice close view there. And then when sprinkling the rock phosphate, it goes down the hole. Stick it right in there, just like that. All of this is a mushroom compost that I amended the bed with already. Once I am done planting this last variety of garlic, I'll be coming in with my potting soil. I'll probably just honestly use either a Lowe's bag because I have it, or I might use my seed starter Happy Frog as well. just to cover the tops of them. And then what you're gonna see after that in the video, after we cover the tops with that really nice loose potting soil, I'll be taking, and it's on the back patio right now, but I'll be taking a seedless garden straw, and what that's gonna be doing is, sorry, got distracted, monarch butterfly. Squirrel. Welcome to ADHD in the garden, folks. But basically, what the straw is going to do is it's going to give it that layer of protection. It's going to be able to keep your bulb from, basically give it a defense mechanism with the elements when the winter comes for us, because we usually do have a lot of freeze in this area, starting usually mid-November, sometimes late December, depending on the year. And then it goes through easily till March. So I'm talking my bedding will be easily 2-3 inches of just straw. I'm gonna wet it down really good because it's a windy day and I don't want the straw to just blow away. I want it to get on there and compact a little bit to create an insulation for the garlic. So that's just kind of explaining what you're gonna be seeing next in the video. And I will catch back up with you in the end so you can see us with our finished product. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, I got your back. It's not too bad looking. I'll probably come back through and do a second layer of straw before the first frost. But right now, the headspace on the bed was not very high like I thought it would be after adding that raised bed mix. So, coming over to the house spigot. After the season, this garden hose will be retiring. It leaks from 3 different spots, but it works for this year. And, like promised, you'll get to see some watering, because it sounds like so much fun. Also, side note, from just the coursework and doing more research on my raised blueberries, I got an organic fertilizer that will help acidify the soil. I did a half serving this fall, which is about maybe 1/4 a cup of this slow release acidic fertilizer, and I put it in each one of my beds. And I'm going to also water those in, so if you're wondering why I'm doing both, we'll have to go down blueberry ventures sometime soon, because I am learning so much in this class. I've always heard, oh, blueberries can't do this, blueberries can't do that. We've always struggled from friends and family who have gardened for decades. And a lot of them will tell me, stick with this, this, or this. They just grow better in Missouri. So to have my blueberries looking phenomenal and producing this year, talking with one of my local shop guys, he was really jealous that I actually had blueberries produced this year. We picked them fresh all summer and just ate them off the bush. They were a late blooming variety. I don't know if that's gonna play into why they work so well, but this was their first year in the ground, so I guess time will really tell on if it was just because brand new into my soil. But yeah, I planted them before the first buds were put on, and they're starting to turn red like they do in the fall for this variety. I'll have to look up. I know one is a blue crop, I think blue without the E, and then Legacy, I believe, is 2 of the others. That way we've got 2 late bloomers. Make sure when you're buying your berries, especially the ones that need cross-pollination of more than one variety, to check when their bloom cycles are, because if you get a apple tree that's an early bloomer and an apple tree that's a late bloomer, they're never going to be able to cross-pollinate because one should already be producing fruit when the other one is starting to bloom. So good note to pay attention to on your berries when looking up their cycle on how they grow. Going back into the garlic world though, she's looking nice and pretty. She is very full. This bed has always struggled in the past. More because of just really invasive weeds and not doing proper steps in the beginning when I made my walking paths. So it's a lot harder to correct it later on. So noting for the next future property, I will be putting down a very nice border and good ground structure for making sure that I don't have to worry as much about invasive weeds later on. So kind of going on. Oh, another note we did. Sorry, seasonal allergies. It's really gross. Another note to make on the garden, now that I'm going to try and finish the fall out with you guys a little bit better than I did this summer. I don't know if you can see it in the bed, but it's really light, tan colored. Actually, sorry making you fly. But some of my sand was getting too coarse. And so I took the sand out of my daughter's sandbox. We accidentally left the lid off during a massive rainstorm. We had a sandbox lake house vibe going. But with all that glorious rainwater and then the sand we get local from a town about an hour from here, it's just river sand. I'm applying it to my beds that are a little bit more compact just to help a little bit with finding a nice good loam or a nice loose soil that's not too compact from over the years, but also not messing up my beds either. I mean, goals on both sides, right? So that's pretty much it with the garlic portion of this. I really do want to finish strong and make 12 videos this year, just because that was my New Year's resolution, was to be more intentional in the garden when it came to documenting the growth of the garden throughout the years while we're on this property. And really, I think it's so important. I know I don't have a lot of viewership, and really these videos aren't necessarily for viewership. These videos are more documenting our homestead as we continue to grow through the years. I wish, if this is encouraging enough for everyone else to try this out, I really wish I would have done this sooner, because when I started on this property, all I had were these 2 very tiny beds and a bunch of cinder blocks that were abandoned in the backyard. And with that, I mean, I even still have the cinder blocks, and we moved in almost a decade ago at this point. Now they're used for our compost bin. But I still have that garden bed. I wish I would have documented me and everything I tried to grow in that. I'm pretty sure it's like an 8 by 3 foot and then a 3 by 4 foot garden bed, because I was very, very go-getter with it. And I definitely planted squash and corn and tomatoes and peppers all in that tiny bed, just trying to make it work. I don't recommend that. I wish I could go back and see how silly that looked now as a more knowledgeable gardener than I was 8-9 years ago. I also have been enjoying bringing my friends who are slowly finding the passion here with me on this journey, and they know who they are. Probably one of the biggest things I've been enjoying is connecting with those friends and having this sense of validation for myself that it's not just a phase, it's not just a hobby. This is an investment, and the people I love most now are also seeing it as an investment, and they're coming asking for help. And that's the best gift, I feel like, out of all the years I've been doing this so solitary. Now I get to have a little community of my community, and I don't feel like I have to just rely on others that feel that way that are hundreds of miles away from me. So I just want to thank you guys for being here. If you do watch these, and know that you can do this too. Just turn on a camera, take your pictures, fill up your Instagram page, annoy the ever-living fuck out of your friends and families with just posting all the things that you're learning as you do it. You won't regret it. It's so much fun. Also, I do apologize to those that do not like potty mouths or that may have had their child watching with this in the background. That's why I mark it that it's not made for kids. Sometimes the F-bomb will slip out, and I do apologize for that. But now, looking at my hands, I have brushed them off mostly. I did clean out from underneath my nails earlier today, but just wanted to remind you guys to go outside and get dirty. I'll see you next time.